Hi there. In this video, I'm going to go over why I think the Barbie and Moana 2 movies are what's leading to an Aegon's Conquest movie, or a Game of Thrones prequel that instead of doing it as a TV season, they might want to do at least the first season or act as a theatrical movie. This is part 2 in a series of videos if you're coming in here. Part 1, I just explained the news that last year, April 2023, we had heard rumblings that HBO wanted to make another Game of Thrones prequel about the Targaryen Conquest, 300 years before Game of Thrones, 100 before House of the Dragon, and that they were mulling over the idea of doing part 1 as a movie, but that they were kind of on the fence. The new info we just got is that the writer officially attached to it, who's just hired to do it, is prominent movie screenwriter Mattson Tomlin. He's going to be headlining the Robert Pattinson Batman movies. That he doesn't really work in TV that much, which seems to really indicate to me that they've been tipped over the fence into we're really going to do this as a movie now, that we hired a prominent and much in demand movie screenwriter, not a TV guy. Why is this happening? What tipped them over the fence? And I really think, having seen articles about this isn't just my opinion. If you think, oh, well, Barbie and Moana 2. Well, it's Barbie and case in point Moana 2. Have you wondered why we're getting Moana 2 in theaters now? Like, I had heard for over a year, like everyone, they're going to make a Moana TV series, not a movie. Then like a month ago, they said, hey, we're editing together the TV series into a movie and releasing it theatrically as Moana 2. And we'll see how that does. I mean, either way, it's a continuation of it. Why did they shift the format like that? There are real news articles saying it's because of the success of the Barbie movie. And, well, not just Barbie, but the whole Barbenheimer thing, that they put out Barbie and Oppenheimer the same weekend, that you have to understand, movie studios blame the audiences whenever something goes wrong. That, wow, we're churning out a bunch of bad movies, they're not getting high ticket sales. Wow, I guess people just don't like going to theaters anymore. And you've all seen this. Tell me in the comments. You've seen them spouting off this awful backwards rhetoric of blaming the audiences rather than maybe we should have made a better product. Maybe you shouldn't have watered down and cranked out all of your Marvel and Star Wars movies until they have a lot of problems. People will always want to have a theater experience because I don't own a full theater in my house. It's big. I like going to it. I need something to go to socially with groups of people. So yes, we want to see things on the big screen just for the spectacle of it. It's you weren't making good content. So then they had this outsider idea of we'll make this Barbie movie or social commentary, not exactly like a movie, you know what I mean? It was a hard push to get the Barbie movie made as a concept. And wow, this outside-the-box movie was a really good idea. Or, I don't know, the consistently wonderful Christopher Nolan put out a good movie and people actually came to see it. But because Hollywood is very follow the leader, this turned a lot of heads in the industry that they were convinced we don't need to do movies anymore. Everyone's doing streaming stuff. Well, like, dude, there was a pandemic and you've been cranking out bad movies. I've seen real news articles explaining the success of Barbie this past summer with Oppenheimer convinced a lot of studio heads maybe we should actually be putting things out in theaters again. So they re-edited the Moana TV series to be a movie at the last minute like that. So putting two and two together, if, as we think, HBO and Warner Discovery, their parent company, were on the fence about, we kind of want to put our toe in the water and put out a Westeros movie, the obvious choice for a 2.5 to 3 hour experience, Lord of the Rings style. You can do the War of Conquest itself from the landing to the Field of Fire in about 2.5, 3 hours. If we're going to try something as a movie, we'll try that, but we're not really sure. Success of Barbie convinced everyone we need something to quickly rush into the theaters, whether it's a good idea or not. Who knows if editing together Moana like this was a good idea, but I really think that the Barbie thing, that saved Warner Discovery. They were deeply in the red in terms of profits this year until that. That, no, we need to get back into putting things out as movies, which is great for us. I think War of Conquest would make a better theatrical film if you're going to do anything. One question this does leave us with, I wonder what they're going to do with the Nymeria prequel. Because they greenlit Dunk and Egg to series. Dunk and Egg could have been a movie. But I think it works better. They get more info in if they do it as they're doing 6-episode TV seasons. Also because it would be like 12 movies, because it's going to be 12 novellas. But they said they're doing it as a TV show. They've already greenlit it. It's already casting for that. And Young Corliss, they said, was so expensive. The Voyages of Young Corliss were going to do that as animation. The one thing we haven't heard about yet is Nymeria, which at last we heard was being written by Amanda Siegel as a TV show. Could they do Nymeria as a series of movies? Whether that's a good idea or not, that is their internal discussion happening now at Warner. Hey, can we retool Nymeria to be a movie format? And again, they're not all 10-episode season things. I mean, look at like the Marvel limited run series. Some of these, like Dunk and Egg, is 6 episodes. House of the Dragon is switching to an 8-episode format. Nymeria is basically 3 acts. They lose the war against the Valyrians. An army of 300 Valyrian dragons wipes out the Rhoynar. Middle act is them wandering in the Summer Sea, looking for a home, visiting Sothorios, fighting dinosaurs. Third and final act is them landing in and invading Dorne, allying with the local houses like the Martells to conquer the other ones, and forging the Principality of Dorne. Could you do that as a movie trilogy? I think you could. There isn't that much source material. I'd rather they do it as like a 6-episode per season TV show so you can have more dinosaurs in it and explore more book lore, but is there internal discussion happening now at HBO changing their plans to some of these things we'd like to do as movies instead? That is very much possible. Just, I wanted to single this out as a standalone video. I think what changed their calculus to really tip them over into we need to do Conquest as a movie, theatrical movie, and then season 2 will be a TV season on the First Dornish War, is Barbenheimer convinced them that, wow, people actually do like going to theaters when you make good movies.